Good afternoon, friends, and welcome to today's Light and Darkness live reading. Chapter 22, Alva Needs Help. One day, Alva approached Hope and Nira privately. "Hope," he said, "I need a little help." "Really?" she asked. "Yes," Alva said, "and it is imperative that we keep this between the three of us." Both Hope and Nira quickly agreed. "What it comes to is this," Alva began. "My father was an expert in everything. He taught me what he could, and I particularly took to fighting and all things related. I just didn't have his knack for mathematics and physical sciences. He said I had got my mother's head for these things, which was a way of saying I was not good at them." Now, Hope, you know everything about everything. "I do not," Hope said. "Well," Alva said with a smile, "I won't argue, but you know more than I do about some important things." "And how can I help you?" "Again, this stays secret," Alva said. "Tonight I need you to come on a walk with me, and I will explain the help I need." "And am I coming on this walk?" Nira asked. "Oh, it wouldn't interest you," Alva said. "We're just going to spend several hours together in a dark cave while I discuss some things with my fiancée." "I see," Nira replied. "And when are we leaving?" "Foiled again," Hope said. Alva shrugged and smiled. "Midnight," he said, "and we'll return before dawn. I know it's going to be a long night, but it's necessary." Both Hope and Nira agreed. Nira suggested that they get some early rest, but Hope knew she would not be able to sleep. What could Alva possibly need my help with? She wondered. Just before midnight, Alva met Hope and Nira outside their tent. He told them that they would need to walk silently for some time. As they left the camp on foot, they headed northwest toward the Camden Mountains, north of the entry to the pass. They walked for about an hour in silence. At length, they came to a clump of shrubs clustered against a wall of solid rock, about the same height as Hope. Alva pulled the shrubs apart, and there was an entrance to a cave, which he motioned the ladies to enter. Even Hope had to lean over to enter. Once they did so, he went after them and let the shrubs spring back into their original position. The cave was small. There was room for about 5 men, and the room was so low they had to lean over. When they were inside, Alva said, "Okay, we can talk freely now." "Did you bring us here for an important discussion?" Nira asked. "Or a secret wedding?" Hope put in. "I wish it was that, Hope," Alva said. "Give me a moment." He felt around for a few minutes in the dark. Then the ladies heard a loud click, and a large entryway swung open at the back of the cave. "Sorry, ladies," Alva said. "We've got a lot more walking." "I hope you brought a torch," Nira said. "Well," Alva said, "I do have one, but I don't think we need it. Hope, my love, what do you think we should name our first child?" When he said this, Hope glowed as she said, "There, you see," Alva said. Hope smiled. "You don't need a trick, Alva," she said. "I can control it now. That is, I can't always keep from shining, but I can shine when I need to. I learned how to do that in Lassla Creston." "I know," Alva said. "I just like the way you light up when we talk about babies." Hope's glow turned pink. "After you," Alva said, and they all entered the passage. It sloped downward and went straight backward. When they walked about 150 paces, they came to another opening on their left. One passage went straight, continuing westward, while the other went south. "This is our path," Alva said, directing them to the southward passage. "Where does the other one lead?" Hope asked. "I'll tell you later," Alva said. "I want to stay focused on our current assignment tonight." "Which is?" Hope asked. "It'll be easier to explain in about half an hour," Alva said. "You sound like Hillel with all this secrecy," Nira said. They entered the southward passage and continued walking. It was just high enough for Alva and Nira to walk in without bending down, or just wide enough for two to walk side by side. Hope and Alva walked together holding hands, and Nira walked behind them. "Well, in the meantime," Hope said, "you said we can talk. You brought up our future children. What do you want to call the first one?" "Well, I know I asked," Alva said, "but if it's a boy, I'd really like to call him Al-Salah." "Not Alva?" Hope asked. "No," Alva replied. "Whether he wants to restore the tradition of the family name will be up to him, but for me, I just want to name him after my father, if that's okay with you." "Of course," Hope said, "as long as I get to choose the name if it's a girl." "That seems very fair," Alva said. "And what name would you choose?" "Dana," Hope said. "Really? Not Lorraine?" "Lorraine will be along," Hope said with a smile. "My mother gave me the second best gift I could ever receive, but Dana gave me the best one." "Oh, Hope, I'm overwhelmed," Alva said. "It is your choice, but if that's the name you choose, I will be very happy." "I hope Alva's mother can see the both of you now," Nira said. "And speaking of babies, I am very angry and annoyed with Hillel for the fact that you two are not married yet." "Me too," Hope said. "I am as well," Alva admitted. "Then can't you talk to him?" Hope said earnestly. "Can't you insist?" "I promised to abide by his wishes, which is in keeping with Lassenian custom." "But it's ridiculous," Hope said. "The war is about to start and you could be killed. What could he be waiting for?" "I don't know," Alva said. "You run the army," Hope said. "Doesn't that give you any authority to insist when he is doing something that's obviously not fair?" "I can't operate that way, Hope. I can't use my authority to force my ways in areas it does not address. Some countries give fathers or their substitute full authority over a girl who marries. Some leave the choice totally with the girl. Divan the Great thought both of these were flawed methods. He thought that both had to agree, so then it would be easier to avoid rash marriages based on either the father or daughter's foolishness. But he gave the father the right to set the time." "I know what Divan the Great wrote," Hope said. "I could recite every word of his works from memory. I still don't think it's fair, and I wish he would make him let us get married." "I think it's unfair too," Alva said. "I wish I could challenge an unreasonable custom. It may need to be changed, but until it is, I won't go over Hillel's head. If I take matters like that into my own hands, it will begin to unravel a lot of things." "Okay," Hope said, still annoyed. "You're always right." "I am not," Alva said. "You're the one who's always right." "And yet, I'm not getting my way." "I'm sorry, Hope," Alva said. "It isn't what I want, and I don't understand it myself." "I'll try to forgive you," Hope said. "Just don't you dare get yourself killed before we're married." "I'll try," Alva said. By this time, Hope realized the passage had veered so that they were going southeast. Before long, it connected with another passage that was much larger. Hope had learned to control her glow to some degree, and when they entered this new passageway, she increased her light to give them a good view. It went on due south, but curving east in a rainbow fashion so that in the distance they could see that where it went was blocked from view. This passage would probably be better described as a large hallway. It was the height of about 3 men stacked up, and it stretched across about 20 paces from one wall to another. As one entered through the hall, there were braces put in place about every 20 paces to keep the roof from falling in. There were also grooves in the floor every 2 paces that looked like they had poles trying to lie down inside of them. "Ladies," Alva said, "at this moment there are 3 living people who know about this passageway." "Who made this?" Nira asked. The symmetry of the hall showed it was not natural. The Danaes had been digging and carving it for hundreds of season changes, Alva replied. What for? Nira asked again. What indeed, Alva said. Hope, my love, this is where I need your help. Alright, friends, it's going to be a shorter reading today because we have a bit of a exciting chapter tomorrow that I want to have time for the whole thing together. Tune in then.